Great. Uh, let's start, Gautami. Right. So, hey guys,
Yeah.
this is Priya from IPF. IPF is India's biggest resale platform for kids products, where we help with payments and shipping around selling any of your kids' product and buying it from other parents. Think of us as basically OLX, but only for parents. We regularly conduct these parent topic workshops with different experts all across India. And today's topic is on weaning to solids, taken care by Gautami. So, Gautami is a certified pediatric sleep consultant and maternal and child nutritionist who is passionate about helping families thrive through better sleep and nutrition. With a science backed approach, she has supported over 850 plus moms in establishing healthy, sustainable sleep routines for their little ones, reducing night wakings, improving sleep quality, and bringing more rest overall to the entire family. In addition to sleep consulting, she is also a certified maternal and child nutrition expert and has conducted numerous weaning to solids workshop, reverse picking eating workshop, and 1:1 weaning consultations, guiding over 300 plus moms through the transition to solid foods with confidence and ease. Her goal is to empower. Sorry. Her goal is to empower parents with practical strategies tailored to their unique family needs so that overall they can raise happy, healthy, and well rested families. So, thank you so much, Gautami, for joining us over here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Priya, for that introduction.
Yeah.
Can we start now, or should we wait for a few more minutes?
Yeah, so let me just share the guidelines of this workshop, right?
Sure.
So this workshop is on weaning to solids, taken care by Gautami. The workshop will be of 1 hour, where the first 45 minutes is in general like a presentation where Gautami will be sharing all her learnings and insights, and the last 15 minutes around Q&A. In case you have any specific questions, please, I will request you to write it in the chat, in the Zoom chat, and we will take all of those questions. We unfortunately won't be able to take any question in between the presentation in order to make sure that we are finishing on time. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to write it in the app chat and we will take all of those. So yeah, over to you, Gautami.
Thank you. Thank you, Priya. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Good morning. First of all, it's Saturday, and I'm so happy that more participants are here. So, welcome to my Weaning to Solids workshop. So, in this workshop, we'll be covering pretty much everything that a new mom has to learn when they start solids for their baby. So, it's now fully on milk, right? So now it's going to be something like a new transition altogether. So, you will have a lot of doubts, questions. We'll kind of Google search everything, right? So, I've prepared slides in such a way that almost all the important topics that a new mom has to know on weaning to solids is covered. Okay, so this is to make it very, very less stressful and more joyful for you. So yeah, I'm sharing my screen. I hope it is visible. If you guys, cannot see my screen, or if there's any problem with my audio, please send a text across. We will fix it. Okay. So this is about me. So Priya has already pretty much explained everything about me. So these are all my qualifications. And also, I'm a founder of Giggle Bites. It's actually a baby food business. And this is all my qualifications and educational background, basically, on children feeding and, sleep consulting.
Sorry, Gautami, are you sharing your next screen? Because we are still only seeing the first one.
Yeah. Can you see my agenda now?
No, not yet.
Okay. 1 second.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
stop and I'll again start. Okay.
Sure.
Is it visible now?
Uh, Not yet. It's just Gautami has started screen sharing. I can only see that text.
I'll just stop and again.
Maybe just try again.
Yeah.
No, it's not coming on my end.
Is it for everybody? Can you?
Ankit, can you see the screen?
Even we cannot see the screen.
Yeah, not yet. It's not showing up.
Can you see my screen?
No, got me, not yet. Can you maybe just try again, like go to the previous setting where you were showing all the slides together?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll just stop sharing and again. Can you see now?
No,
It's
it's not.
fine.
Up. This is weird. We had tested this before. It was coming.
Yeah, we just tested it out.
Guys, so Gautami will join the link again. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can just write it in the app chat. Yeah. Yeah, we can see
Can
the
you see? Can you see the screen now?
yes, we can see this. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go
Okay.
with this only. Yeah.
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
present
Good.
the full
Awesome.
screen. Okay, done. Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys can see now clearly, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
this is the agenda that we will be actually, looking out. So we'll be, learning about baby-led weaning, the benefits of baby-led weaning. And we'll also be covering up the overview of traditional weaning because some parents might want to also learn about traditional weaning. So there is some few, points that I will be teaching on traditional weaning. And the major important point is the signs of readiness. So because some parents start the solids even before their babies are ready, actually. So you have to watch out for signs of readiness, which I'll be covering, and then allergens, difference between choking and gagging, and all the meal progression. So how much you have to serve, how many meals per day. All those are some of the important things that a parent has to know. So I'll be covering that as well. And then feeding essentials, the gear guide, and do's and don'ts of baby-led weaning, very important, and sample meals for all your babies. Okay, so let's go ahead with the first topic. So baby-led weaning. So what is baby-led weaning? You are actually going to help your baby, help them to actually pick their own food and eat. So, as the name itself suggests, it is baby led. Okay, so baby is actually going to pick the food. Okay, baby is actually going to look at the food, touch it, explore it. And we are actually going to skip off the spoon feeding part and the purees part in the baby led weaning process. Okay, and this baby led weaning is also going to be very much helpful for you because you're not going to actually prepare separate meals for your baby when your baby comes into a family part at the earliest, when you especially start baby-led weaning at the earliest. Okay, and this is also a very, very good sensory experience for a baby. Babies are prone to touch it, are prone to smell it, and they're going to explore at their own pace. They will touch the variety, they will explore the smell, they will know what they're actually eating on the process. That is baby-led weaning. Okay, and it is also going to help your baby understand the hand and eye coordination. Okay, and if you're always going to be giving your baby purees, their chewing abilities will be very late. Okay, the motor skills are something which is very important, especially when you start baby led weaning. These are all going to be there. Okay, and especially I can very well tell as a point, as a mom to mom, basically when I started baby led weaning for my son. So I saw a very good difference, with relationship with food. He started liking it. In fact, the mealtime was very happy for us. And when we went out, it was very much easy when when he was someone who ate by himself. Okay, so when you're doing it correctly, it is safe. So that is the point here. So most of the parents are all afraid because like they say, my baby doesn't have teeth. How will my baby eat the food? But one thing that you have to learn is that if you learn properly about baby-led weaning, how to serve, how to actually test the food before serving, the texture, everything, if you see and do it properly, you are done. Okay. So now let's talk about the benefits. So as we already discussed, babies are going to have independence. They're going to eat on their own, right? They're going to have control over their own meals. Okay. And it's going to help the babies develop all the motor skills and oral skills to practice. Okay. And it is also very important that when you start baby-led weaning, you will not decide the quantity that your baby should eat, as how you do in traditional weaning, right? You take a bowl and then you have some dal or something, and you'll be like, okay, this is the quantity that I want my baby to eat. But when it comes to baby-led weaning, your baby is actually going to decide. They have the authority to decide. They will learn their fullness cue. They will know their hunger cue as well in the process. Okay, and convenience. See, I have, a client who has come to me at, 20 months, and they are still giving purees and mashed foods, and the baby is still not on family pot. So this is something, very stressful for the parent. Okay, so they have to prepare something separately for the child and then separately for the parent, and again, separate meals for each and everyone in the family. Okay, the major goal here is to actually involve our baby with us to eat. Okay. And the major thing that here you're going to do is that instead of giving purees, you're going to make your baby explore all the texture and varieties. Okay. I can very well tell that, out of the consultations that I had, 90% babies who were done, with traditional weaning process, I saw picky eaters very easily, especially in just 13, 14 months. We saw major picky eating happening. Okay, babies rejecting a lot of varieties in food because it was not introduced at the earliest, right? But in process of baby-led weaning, our major goal is to introduce almost all the textures, almost all the food flavors, and everything. And the baby is actually going to pick and eat it. Can you guys please mute the call? I think there is someone who's speaking and it is kind of giving me a background noise. Yeah, thank you. Okay, and dining out. So as we already discussed, it's going to be very easier. So you will not be that parent who's going to actually sit, eat first. The one will be carrying, and then the other will come and eat, and the other parent will be carrying the baby. That will not happen. If your baby is a pro BLW eater, all of you, all three of you can enjoy the food outside. Okay, and when it comes to baby-led weaning, it's always going to be something like a learning process. It's a learning curve basically where you are going to, give a lot of flavors and textures. Okay. And your baby is going to learn it at their own pace. You're not going to rush. Okay. So these are all the benefits. And this is what are the basic things that you have to learn about baby-led weaning. Okay. Now let's talk about traditional weaning. So traditional weaning, we know it's always purees or something with finger, not the finger food and just the spoon feeding. Parent and or any caregivers who's taking care of the baby will just feed the baby. And most of the times, the traditional weaning, if we see, it is always with some screen time or some distraction. Correct. Where the parent will carry the baby on their hip, they'll show and they'll go out and show the crow and they'll tell some stories, they'll show the sky. It's all distraction basically. It doesn't actually give an enjoyable experience for your baby. Your baby is not given the opportunity to touch the food, feel the food. Nothing sort of that is actually happening here. Right. So when you're going to actually practice this kind of a weaning process continuously, okay, especially when you're going to just offer just purees every day, your baby will not understand what your baby is eating, first of all, because everything is in the same texture. Right. Banana is also pureed and given. Potato is also pureed and given. Rice is also like pureed and given. Okay. For everything, the parents use mixie and just make it as a running puree. Okay. So which will actually be very difficult for a baby to actually learn about food and get that positive experience basically. Okay, so the cons, these are all the cons basically, and you will actually struggle a lot when you're going to be following this throughout. See, I'm not actually against traditional weaning. It's completely the parent's choice to do whatever it works for you and your family. But my only advice, as an expert in this field is that when I've seen a lot of parents coming to me telling that their baby are a picky eater, we found that they were all traditional. Okay, so you can actually do a mixed weaning basically. So mixed weaning is nothing but you can actually offer your baby, the food on the plate for them to explore, and you can also feed, side by side. Okay, you can do like the mixed weaning. So you're giving the opportunity for your baby to explore, touch, to have control over their food, and they'll also, have interest on the food basically. Okay, so don't do only traditional weaning throughout because it is definitely something which I wouldn't recommend, but you can do a mixed feeding when you feel that you're not confident enough to start with BLW. In fact, I myself started mixed feeding for the first month. Okay, and then only after once my son turned 7 months, I went into complete BLW. Till then, I was only doing mixed feeding. So you can also start like that. Okay, and traditional weaning here, if you see, this is going to actually lead to force feeding because you will have a fixed amount of quantity on your bowl or a plate, and you will want that for your baby to eat. And when your baby is not eating, you're just going to open their mouth and feed, right? So this leads to force feeding. So there are a lot of cons basically on traditional weaning. So I would suggest you to do either, mixed feeding or BLW completely, just based on whatever your plan works for you and your family. So starting at around 6 months. So this is very important because see, the World Health Organization recommends that the breast milk or formula milk is something that is going to be throughout. Okay, till 1 year, it's going to be the primary source of nutrition. Okay, So after 6 months only, we're going to start. So this is around 6 months. So around 6 months can be around 5.5 or 6 or 6.5. It is not that your baby should be 6 months. The major goal that we have to see is that a baby should be ready. Okay, so next slides will show you the readiness signs so that you have to learn and understand if your baby is actually ready for solids or not. Okay, please do not start solids at 4 months. Some I've seen started at even 3.5 months. Baby is too small. Their digestive system is still developing. Okay, what happens when you give food at the earliest? They're going to have a lot of tummy issues. Okay, and they'll not even drink milk also properly. That has also happened to one of my clients. So please wait till you see signs of readiness and then start. Because some child can even show the signs at around 6.5. So don't stress. Okay, everything that you're going to give for the first year is just like a learning for them. Okay, and the main goals, as we already discussed, we are going to let our baby touch the food, feel the variety, okay, and they'll be able to learn the food. You're going to create a very, very loving bond, like a very positive environment set up for your food, for your baby, and this is going to actually avoid picky eaters. Okay, and please make sure that you introduce textures at the earliest. Don't only mash the food and give. Try to introduce a lot of textures because even mashing will actually have the same consistency when you're going into the long run. Okay, so try to give proper texture consistencies, and there is this website called Solid Starts. So if you have any doubt on how to serve a food for your baby, right? Like you have doubts on how to cut it or how to whether we have to boil it or steam it, there is everything on this website. Okay, so I will share that as well so that you guys can actually make a note of it. Okay, so this is very important, the signs of readiness. Okay, so first thing that you have to see is that your baby is sitting, okay, with at least minimal support. Okay, so this we called is as tripod support. Okay, if your baby is able to sit with minimal support and is maintaining the body upright like this, it is one of the signs. The next important sign is that the head control. Okay, your baby's head shouldn't droop down. Your baby's head should be steady. Your baby should be able to hold the neck when they're actually sitting in this position. Okay, that is very, very important. So please wait for this sign. Until and unless you see this sign, don't start. Okay. If you feel that my baby is not able to sit on the on my baby's with the hand, at least if your baby is able to sit on your lap with minimal support, and if the head and the neck control is very good, you can start. Okay, this is very, very important. The next is the eye hand mouth coordination. The baby looking at the food, okay, taking it on the hand and putting it inside the mouth. That coordination should be there. Okay, and the third important thing is that showing interest on food. Showing interest on food means when you're eating, they'll actually come and look at your plate, will want to grab something from your plate. So these are also some of the signs, okay, to show that your baby is ready for solids. But there are other signs where parents will think that the baby is ready for solids, but it's not. Okay, first one is chewing fist. So if the baby is chewing like this, right? So they come and ask me, I think my baby is hungry. They want solids. Should I start? They'll ask. No, it's not. Okay, and baby waking up multiple times at night when they've actually slept properly before, no, and wanting extra milk feeds, no. So these are something which is very normal baby behavior, because chewing fist, mouthing and all you can see just from 3 months itself. Okay, it is all developmental milestone basically. Okay, so you need not actually fix that as a sign to show that your baby is ready for solids. The major important signs are these three: head control, maintaining sitting posture at least with little support, okay, and the spine, the back part. Okay, this is very important. Okay, and wanting extra milk feeds or waking up at night, sleep is different. Okay, starting solids is only about nutrition. You shouldn't start solids just because you want your baby to sleep. As a baby sleep consultant, I'll tell you, solids, when you start solids and you expecting your baby to sleep, it's not going to happen. Okay, to improve your baby's sleep pattern, if you're going to start solids, definitely it's not going to work. Okay, so sleep is a separate issue. Okay, so major goal for you is to actually bring nutrition food for your baby. That's it. Okay, and the other behaviors you will see like drooling, smacking lips, okay, or just watching someone eating. Okay, so creating an interest, having an interest on someone's food, taking and grabbing is a sign, but just watching you eat is not a sign. Okay, these are all normal developmental signs. So please make sure that you see proper signs, okay, of readiness before you start solids. Some babies have shown signs even late at 6.5. So it is good to wait basically. Okay. So this is about allergens, so very important topic. So these are all the common allergens basically. So you have to actually introduce in such a way that it is safe. So the next slide shows about it. So eggs, cow's milk definitely will not be giving as a drink before 1 year. After 1 year only, you will actually give cow's milk, and that also after talking to your pediatrician. Okay, but you can give dairy products like curd, paneer, cheese, and all. You can start giving because the protein content here is broken. Okay, so it is easy on baby stomach to digest, but cow's milk is not like that. It is very low on iron. It leads to anemia. Okay, so please don't offer cow's milk before 1 year. Just because there are parents who offer formula milk, they say that I started solid, so let me start cow's milk along with formula. They say, but it's totally something which is not recommended. It's not good for your baby. Okay, it causes a lot of tummy issues, constipation. Okay, a lot of issues it basically creates. So please don't start cow's milk before one. After one, check with your pediatrician and then start. Okay. And the nuts, as you already know, all the nuts, peanuts, almonds, cashews, pistas, all these are all allergens. Okay. So you have to introduce one by one. And also sesame seeds. Seeds, if you see, only sesame is an allergen. The rest of the seeds you can actually combine, make it as a powder and offer for your baby right from 6 months. But sesame is something that you have to check before offering. Okay. And then the non-veg stuff like fish, chicken, mutton is also, common allergen that you have to know before starting. So how to actually introduce? It's very important. So you have to introduce one allergen at a time, not multiples together. Okay. So what I would suggest is that the first month, right, when you're starting solids at 6 months, okay, I wanted to actually start, the first month to be something where you're going to introduce a lot of varieties. Okay, you're going to introduce vegetables, fruits, almost everything that you are eating as a family. Introduce all that to your baby the first 1 month. From seventh month, you can start the allergens one by one. Okay, so you have to introduce one at a time and keep 3 days gap after introducing this one. For example, let's say today I gave egg for my baby. So I leave a gap of 3 days before offering another allergen. So after 3 days, then I offer curd. That is also an allergen. Like that, you can make a note, okay, and check. And whenever you're introducing allergen, make sure that you introduce only during the daytime. Please don't introduce after evening, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Okay, because we have to actually observe our baby's reaction if they are actually allergic to that food that we are actually offering. Okay, so please make sure whenever you are giving a new food, like for example, allergen, please offer it only in the morning time or noon time, but not after that. Okay, to observe any reactions. And nuts, do not offer it as a whole. Always make it as powder. Okay, for example, peanut. If you want to introduce, roast it, okay, and powder it, and then offer. And when you're offering, any kind of an allergen to your baby, offer it very little to see how they are reacting. Okay, just offer 1/3 of, a spoon, teaspoon size. Okay, so only that much you have to offer and check whether your baby is actually okay, or not. Okay, and if there's any family history, this is very important, guys. Like, or if your baby has eczema, please always check with your pediatrician before you start any allergen for your baby. Okay. And what are the signs of allergic reaction that you have to understand is that once you've started allergen, when you learned about all this, when you learned about GAP and all that, how do you understand that my baby is actually allergic to a particular food? One that you will see is that after giving that particular food, your baby's face will turn, the lips and eyes and mouth and all will start swelling. Okay, it will cause like a rash, red rash basically. You will see running nose and you will see itching eyes. They'll start scratching their eyes. They'll start vomiting. These are all some common signs. Okay, severe signs where you have to immediately take your baby to help is that they'll start coughing persistently and they'll have this hoarse voice. Okay, they like if your baby is someone who's shouting and making some cute noises, you will see a difference in the voice itself. Okay, that is also one sign which the parent isn't not knowing it. Okay, so please make a note of it. Hoarse voice is very important. You have to take your baby immediately to the hospital. That is also one of the signs of allergic reaction. Next, as usual, you know it, bluish skin, pale skin, then the heartbeat will be very rapid and loss of consciousness. So these are all severe signs you have to call for immediate help. Okay. Okay. The next slide. So this is about gagging and choking. So most of the parents here are actually afraid. Even I was you. Okay. I was very afraid to start solids at 6 months because I was very afraid what if my child, chokes when I give, a food as part of BLW. Okay. But when I learned about it, it made sense to me. So that is why I'm here and teaching you about this. So start confidently. Okay. You should understand the difference. And when you know it, it's very easy. Okay. See, gagging is something like a protective reflex. okay, it is actually going to prevent choking. So if you see this picture of this baby, okay, your baby will actually, try to push the food out. Okay, will try to, they will do this coughing, sound they'll make, and then the face will turn red. But they'll still be able to breathe. They'll still be able to make noise. They'll ask for help. They'll start crying. Okay, that is because your baby is gagging. Okay, your baby will be still making noise, still breathing, crying, asking you to actually help them. Okay, so when you're actually seeing gagging happening, I want you to do two things. One is, don't put your finger or your hand inside your baby's mouth to remove the food. Please wait for some time, because your baby itself has the reflex to push that food outside. Okay, when you see that the food is out, remove it. Okay, calm your baby down, and again just offer the same food. Okay, so don't worry on that or don't panic. The next thing that you have to do as a parent is that when you feel that your baby is gagging, okay, and is already having some, big piece of food, chunk food on the hand, you can slowly remove that food and slowly remove the plate that is on the front of the baby, because we do not want a baby to, again take a food, amount of food and put it inside, because baby is already trying to spit. Okay, because babies, what they will do, again, they'll take it and put it inside when they're gagging. So remove all the food that is already there on the table and from their hand, and wait for some time. Once they spit it out, once they become normal, okay, just give them a hug and say it's okay, and just offer the same food again. Okay, so this is gagging. It's a sign that they're learning to food. See, one more thing that you have to understand is that people tend to start traditional weaning thinking that the baby will not gag or choke. But guys, even with traditional weaning, babies will gag and choke, because it is something very new for them, right? They were always on milk. Now it's a different form of food that they're going to be taking. Okay, so it's going to be taking some time for them to adjust to everything. So they're actually, in the process of learning to handle each and every food texture. So they will definitely gag even when you start with purees. Okay, I have seen personally. Okay, so next, what is choking? So choking is just the opposite of what I told now. Okay, so choking is when the food actually goes and blocks the airway. Okay, so when it blocks the airway, the baby will not be able to breathe. The baby will just sit still. They'll be like sitting still. Okay, they'll be like looking out of fear, and then they'll start, like they'll try to make sounds, but they'll not be able to make any noise at all. Okay, so when you see those signs, when your baby is just sitting still, not making any noise, or not able to cry or do anything, that is because the baby has choked some food. Immediately, you have to start CPR. Okay, very important. When you start solids, I want you to learn CPR. There are a lot of videos. I also have videos in the next slides, which I will be sharing with you after this session. All these 4 videos, I want you guys to watch. It's very important as a parent when you start solids. Okay, it's all just educative. Don't think that this will happen to my baby. No, okay, it can happen to any babies even outside, when you're going, and you can actually help them out if the parent doesn't know it. So it's just for educational content. Okay, it's just for you to actually educate yourself on CPR. It's very important. Okay, so these are all the signs that you have to, note down when your baby is choking, and immediately call for help. Okay, but before that, you have to learn CPR and start doing the CPR once you see these signs. Okay, and when you're actually offering food for your baby, please always make sure that you're sitting next to your baby. You have to supervise your baby. Don't just leave the baby, on the high chair and go to, the kitchen to do some work or doing some other work basically. Okay, please make sure you have to always supervise when they're eating. And when you're serving food for your baby, it should be age appropriate. Okay, so age appropriate, as I already told you, right? So when you're serving some food for your baby, let's say 6 months, okay, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, for each ages, the food served size is different. That you can check on a website called Solid Starts. It's a free website. You just have to go and type the food name. Let's say banana or potato or watermelon, whatever you want to give for your baby. It will show you, age wise, how you have to serve and all that. And when it comes to hard food like carrot, or any other hard food, apple, okay, these are all food that we start, right? So when you're offering for your baby, make sure that you're doing a squish test. So I hope you guys can see, right? So these 2 fingers, okay, so you have to take the food. Okay, always steam the food, don't boil, because steaming will actually retain all the nutrients. Okay, after steaming, take that food and try to squish it like this. Okay, when you're able to actually easily squish, that is the safe, you know texture for your baby to actually serve. Okay, if you're not able to squish, it means you still have to steam it. Okay, because the baby's gums are strong enough to actually take the food and chew and all that, but it should be served in a very, very appropriate age wise. Okay, so do a squish test before you serve. The next thing is, always make sure that you check the temperature before you serve. It shouldn't be too hot for the baby. They cannot handle it. It's not good. Okay, so test the temperature, test whether the food is mashable with your finger. Okay, doing the squish test, and then you serve for your baby. Okay, if you're able to actually squish, your baby will be able to chew it with their gums. Simple. Okay, and when your baby is gagging, please stay calm. Like, don't panic. We'll do like suddenly we'll get I know because as new parents we all have that thing, right? We suddenly get panicked and we'll be like, oh, something is happening, and then we'll put our fingers inside our baby's mouth and we'll try to remove, but it still makes it worse for the baby. They'll get very scared, and they'll start crying, and they'll not actually spit out. Okay, because in the process of spitting out, when you're going and actually disturbing that, they'll get scared enough, and they'll actually try to swallow that only. Okay, it's already blocked there. Okay, so if they're actually trying to push it out, you're not going to actually make it still worse. Okay, so please stay calm. Gagging is completely okay. Gagging is normal. Okay, they will recover quickly. In just 10-20 seconds, the baby will recover. It doesn't take a long time. Just sit and wait for them to spit out. Okay, so these are the videos which we were speaking. Okay, infant CPR, gagging. What is gagging example? Gagging versus choking. So since it's a very short workshop, I was not able to actually put all the videos. Usually, I put the videos and turn it on for the and show the parents. But this you can definitely watch. You can save it also, download it also, watch multiple times, learn. Okay, infant CPR, learn it with the toy. I was doing all that basically. So learn it properly. Okay, before you actually start solids. If you already started solids also, very important to learn all this. Okay. So let's talk about meal progression. So what to serve and when. This is a very, very commonly asked question. So 6 to 7 months, when you're starting solids for your baby, it should always be only one meal. Okay. Please don't give 3 meals or 4 meals just because the pediatrician told. Okay. So I've heard this basically even in the recent, times where a 6 month child, the pediatrician has recommended to give 3 meals per day. Their stomach is something which cannot handle. Okay, they're now only learning to actually adapt and eat something out of something, not milk, basically a different meal. So please give time for them to adapt and learn. Okay, don't rush the process. Rushing is not going to make any good. You are thinking that this meal is actually going to help in weight gain, and you feel like you want to wean off the breast milk or bottle milk. That is all something which is not recommended. Okay, you're going to be breastfeeding, you're going to be bottle feeding throughout till 1 year compulsory. Okay, that is basically the primary source of nutrition. This is all just for learning process. We say meal before one is just for fun. Okay, so please keep that on your mind. Don't focus on weight gain, don't focus on forcing food for your baby, and don't focus on waiting for your baby to completely complete the bowl of food or the plate of food that you offer. Okay, you should actually enjoy this experience when you're actually doing it. It should be very fun and enjoyable for you and for your baby. So start with only one meal, 6 to 7, one meal, and always breastfeed before solids. Okay, breastfeeding comes first. I'll tell you an example. Let's say you're 7 month old, woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning. So after 10-15 minutes, you have to breastfeed. Okay, and then leave a gap of 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes before you offer some solid. And always should be morning or noon when you start this one meal, not on the evening, not at night, just because you want your baby to sleep. It's not going to happen. Okay, always morning or noon only you should start. Okay, and you can start with finger foods like steamed veggies or mashed veggies, anything of your choice you can start. They say that you shouldn't start with fruits because babies will have the sweet preference. It is all myth. Babies are not going to actually fall into a habit of sweet preference at the earliest. Only when you start giving sweet food every day, okay, that preference will be formed. That too only after 9-10 months, not at the earliest. They do not know anything now. Okay, so you can start with anything that you want. Okay, just make sure that it is safe for your baby. Okay, and make sure that your baby is ready to actually, eat the solid. Good head control, instant interest in food, sitting with support, all that you have to do. And right from the beginning itself, make sure that there's no distraction because that creates a habit in the future. Like when distract your baby by showing something and feeding, or showing screen and feeding, or showing mobile and feeding, or showing some pictures or books, toys and feeding, that creates a habit in the future. It's very difficult to wean off. Then again, we'll have to work on that as well. So from the beginning itself, make sure that there's no distraction at all. Okay, make sure that you have a good high chair. Okay, positive environment, cue for your baby to understand, okay, mama is bringing me to this high chair, we are going to eat. Like that, you're going to actually help your baby out with this process. Okay, and next, let's talk about 7 to 8 months. 7 to 8 months, you will expand the variety. As usual, one meal you'll offer along with a snack. So meal, it can be your choice, either morning or you can give, and evening snack you can start offering. Here you have to understand the gap after breastfeeding is 1 to 1.5 hours. So enough adequate gap is very important, because soon after you breastfeed your baby, in just 30 minutes, if you offer food, your baby will not eat. You will think that, oh, my baby is not eating, my baby is rejecting food, my baby is not liking food. But the major aspect that you have to consider here is the gap is very important. The parents are not actually leaving enough gaps between feeds. So that is why baby is rejecting. That is the number one reason. Okay, very simple reason. So make sure that the feed gap is enough and sufficient for your baby to actually at least take something and eat. Okay, and you can start with finger food right from 7 months. Okay, you can even start chapatis as strips, dip with some, anything. Okay, that you want to offer, like coconut milk. Just make sure it is safe for your baby, something soft for your baby, not hard to chew. Okay, and from here itself, I want you to introduce spices. Okay, because most parents do not do it. So from 7 months itself, you can actually start introducing mild spices, cumin, coriander, turmeric, cardamom, cinnamon. All this you can actually start from 7 months itself. Okay, only thing that you should not offer is chili. Okay, very, very spicy stuffs we will not be offering now. Red chili, green chili, all that we will not be offering. Even pepper, you can actually start. You can start from 8.5 pepper, little pinch of pepper. But for the starting, when you give some dal or something, you can add very, very mild spices like turmeric, cardamom, cinnamon, anything that you want to, you can actually, flavor it for your baby to make it, little more interesting for your baby to, explore. Okay. And from now itself, if you've been doing like mixed feeding for the first 6 to 7 months, from now at least be very confident enough to give your baby some food, as a finger food on their plate, and let them explore. Okay, let them actually touch. You teach a baby to touch. You actually mimic. You sit on front. Okay, when your baby is sitting here, you sit on just opposite to them. You also have a plate with you, even though if you do not want to eat, at least mimic. Have some food, same food as how they are actually having on their plate, and you take it and try and chew and show them like that. You have to actually show. Okay, when you are actually helping your baby, when you're mimicking, baby will look at you and will want to try. Okay, this is also very important that you have to do. Okay, just you sitting on front of the baby and waiting for them, looking at their face is not going to help. You also have to eat along with your baby. That is actually going to encourage them to touch. Okay, now 8 to 9 months. So by 8, 9 months and all, you should have started to build a routine. Okay, so 2 meals, then additionally one snack. So here it's one meal, one snack, 7 to 8, right? So here we'll be adding another meal, which is 2 meals and one fruit snack. And here we'll be maintaining again 1 to 1.5. Okay, breastfeed and then solids. Remember this, breastfeed and then solids. Gap 1 to 1.5. Okay. And from here, you can actually start offering balanced meals. From 8 months itself, you can start. You can add good, high protein diet, vegetables, grains, healthy fats, all that combination foods you can start from here itself. Okay. And as usual, you can start preloaded spoons also at this point of time. In fact, stage one preloaded spoon, you can start from 7 months itself. Okay, and the normal spoon training you can start from 8, 9 months. There is this preloaded spoon which comes with some kind of gaps. I'll show you the picture so that you guys can see. Those kind of spoons you can introduce to your baby. You just have to scoop it out, take it. The food gets loaded on that preloaded spoon, and then you can offer it to your baby. Your baby picks it from your hand and will try to chew. The spoons are very safe, basically. Okay, not the spoon that we use at home, which is sharp. This is silicone spoons, which is safe. Okay, those kind of spoons you can actually start, in the beginning to train for your baby to actually learn to pick the food and eat. Okay, and along with that, finger foods. Hands are best to explore, to learn, to take and feed on their own. Okay, along with that, you can introduce this preloaded spoon. Okay. Okay, now let's come to 9 to 10 months. So 9 to 10 months, if you see, it's going to be like a structured eating. Okay, so you have to be very much, in such a way that you can plan a lot of things. Like, see, I'll tell you, you have to start family meals from 9 months. Okay, because I see a lot of parents still offering separate food even at the age of 2. Okay, so I have my friends at the age of 2, all same, ages of as my son. They are still offering separate meals. They're still offering, spiceless, no, variety, same kind of a mashed and texture. Okay, and the baby is not able to actually eat at all. Okay, there are a lot of, tough things that is happening. Mama is not able to provide different varieties because it has been followed right from the start. That is why I'm telling you, please start meal plan right from 9 months itself. Okay, it is completely okay to start from 9 months. Only thing that you have to make sure is that no salt, You have to adjust the spice and texture. Simple. Rice and all, if your baby is not able to handle like how we eat, no, you can overcook the rice, okay, and give for your baby. So I'll just give you an example, guys. If you're making sambar, okay, I'll tell you how to adjust. Okay, what you can do is we add tatka, right? We add chilies, red chilies, and all the tatka part, right? That you can do at the end. So as usual, just vegetables, dal, you can actually pressure cook or okay, you can pressure cook it and take something out and keep it on a bowl, and you can slightly mash and keep that for your baby. And then that you can actually, turn it into your meals by adding salt and other tatka part. Like this, you can actually plan around and work around family meals. Okay, and all of you eating together will still, create a very good environment for a baby. They'll think that okay, mama, papa is also eating, we will eat, and they'll start eating. Okay, don't always sleep. From now and all, they should be able to actually eat on their own. Okay, so start BLW at the earliest, or do a mixed feeding at at the earliest, and help them to explore a lot. Okay, and from here, the meal timing, you should have a proper fixed meal timing. See, everything depends upon sleep. Okay, when your baby wakes up, how the wake window, and again your baby going back to sleep. So everything depends upon sleep. When you have a good sleep routine, meal routines also comes in place. So have a proper meal timing set and establish every day the same kind of meal timing or set time where your baby will understand this is actually hunger cue. This is actually time for us to eat. Okay, and one more thing here I wanted to understand is that so when you buy a high chair, please make sure that it is always on the hall of your space that you're going to eat. Don't fold it and keep it inside the room once your baby is done, because I'll tell you why. When your baby actually starts walking, when your baby starts to understand that this high chair is for eating, when they're hungry, they'll start searching for the high chair. Okay, they'll start when they're able to sit on their own. If you're using a booster chair, they'll go and sit on the chair and they'll wait for food. So these are all hunger cue signs. Okay, so make sure that when you use a high chair, it is always visible for your baby's eyes where they can actually use that as a cue. Don't fold it and please put it anywhere else. Okay. Okay. And from 10 to 12 months, it's going to be 3 meals and 2 snacks. Breastfeeding, as usual, it's going to be on demand. We're not going to reduce it. It's always on demand. Formula feed also always on demand. And the gap here is 2 hours gap. Okay. So at 10 to 12, it's always 2 hours gap because we're offering 3 meals. Okay. And make sure it is always distraction free. See, you will see then and there some rejection. Some days your baby will skip a meal, will eat less. This is all just a phase. Every baby is unique. Do not compare your baby with another person's baby. Your baby might eat really well today. This person will not be able to eat, but tomorrow it can be opposite. So don't compare. Okay, don't compare your meals with some other person's meals. What you're doing is good. You should actually be very confident in what you're doing. Okay, don't just see meal plans of the other parents and think, oh, they're offering so much, they're offering this, they're offering pancake, that, this. Whatever you are eating as a family, if you're going to give that itself, and covering all the nutrition, that itself is good, guys. Okay, all these fancy snacks, extra stuffs, if you have time, you can do. Okay, otherwise, the same thing that we do when we eat for our own, like the same thing you can give for your baby. That's the goal. Okay, when you have time, you can plan around and work around snacks varieties like giving pancakes, laddus, everything that you see. Okay, otherwise, just don't stress. Okay, let your baby eat at their own pace. Just make sure that the breastfeeding part or the bottle feeding part is not stopped. It's going to be on demand as usual, and create a very, very good positive environment for your baby. Your baby should love, eating. That is the goal. Okay. So I was talking about Solid Start website, right? So these are some of the references for you. So you just have to, so this is the website, guys. Okay. So solidstarts.com. You just have to go and search, egg space solid start. You will get the variety. You will get this picture. You will also have a lot of explanation around egg. Okay. They will explain each and everything. Very, very clear explanation is given. Okay. This is an amazing website. It's very easy as, for new parents to refer before actually serving. Okay, instead of searching in Google, normally you can start, you can just search in Solid Star website. So here you can see apple for 6 months, it is cooked into halves. Okay, and then at around 9 months, it is thin slice, 18, and then again it depends upon the age. So all ages, size, everything will be here. Okay, the texture, the age progression, the size progression, everything here will be given as a very good explanation along with pictures for us to easily understand and go on. Okay. And here I also wanted to understand, tell you guys is that, see, I wanted to speak about banana. Okay. So if you go and search in Solid Start website, they'll actually have banana with a little skin on the the base for the baby to actually hold and eat. Okay, that actually works for people who are living abroad, but for Indians, here if you see, only that Elaki banana is soft even inside. But the rest of the bananas, if you see, it is very hard in the middle part. Okay, so for the starting part, don't offer banana as a whole. Okay, instead you can actually mash it and give. Okay, only for banana, I wanted to say this for you guys because recently we came across one of the thing where the baby choked on banana. Okay, banana is something very, very soft, right? We think it's actually safe. But our bananas here in India, okay, not all the varieties are actually, very soft. There's some hard parts in between which we will not know. Even when you eat, you would have found it, right? Sometimes it will be too hard in between. So for bananas alone, you mash it and give, okay, till your baby is actually able to handle it well. Okay. And this is for chicken. You will also find other varieties if you're a non-vegetarian, how to serve and all that. Okay. So see, basically chicken is also an allergen. I would request you to wait till at least 7 months and then start. You can start all the allergens right from 6 months, but the major goal here is to actually give a lot of varieties before starting allergens. Okay, and then giving a combined food. So first month, make sure that you use it properly, and the first 30 days is very important. Okay, almost all varieties of fruits and almost all varieties of vegetables you have to introduce for your baby. In fact, most of the vegetables and fruits that I did not eat, I ate with my baby. Okay, so that kind of a thing that you have to do. Okay, so it's easy for you to actually, cook and give for your baby when you've introduced so much varieties already. You do not think, oh, this is actually new stuff. Okay, so feeding essential. So what you really need, okay, you need a high chair. Okay, that should be safe and ergonomic. See, one thing that you have to understand is that in India, most of the high chairs do not have footrest. So can you see the picture here? It comes with a footrest. In fact, this is all adjustable footrest. Can you see the when the baby is growing, the footrest also, you'll be able to adjust. So I will actually tell you to do a research on this to check on the brands when you specifically select high chair for your baby, because most of the brands that I've seen here doesn't have proper footrest. Okay, so what I did a DIY footrest for my baby, basically. Okay, so make sure the footrest should be something which is adjustable, and the seating position, okay, this should be there. Okay, that is, it should be straight, not something like inclined. Okay, it should always be an upright seat. Don't buy something that you can actually use for an, sleep. There is a seat actually, which they use for high chair for feeding as well as for sleeping. That is not actually very good. Okay, and then the other thing that you have to see is the removable tray. Okay, so removable tray, why I tell you is that because you can even use that as a chair on your table, on your dining table, you can use when your baby grows up. Okay, so something which you're investing, no, when you're investing, make sure that you check everything. The length of use, how much weight the high chair actually will be able to carry, till how many years of age, you can use the durability. Okay, whether this is something that can transition according to my child's growth. All these are some of the pointers that you have to actually see before you select a chair. Okay. And the rest of the things are bibs. Okay, that is your choice completely, whether it's a cloth bib or a silicone bib or a full sleeve bib. And then stage one, stage two, spoons, suction plates at the start, then straw and open cups. Don't give water or anything in the feeding bottle after 6 months. Okay, always use straw and open cups. In fact, the normal tumblers that we have at home, right? Just make sure that the corners are not very sharp. That is all you can use. Okay, then splash mat, baby balls, and foot steamer. So these are all the pictures. Okay, so silicone bib you can buy. I personally got this at the start because baby will do a lot of mess, right? They'll actually put it on their face, hand, chest, and all that. So this actually helped in little safeguarding my baby's body, with the without the food. Okay, it's like a sleeve bib you can use. Open cup you can get. Open cup. My suggestion is to use something that you have at home. Okay, just make sure that the edges are not sharp. It should be very easy for the baby to have because they'll try to actually chew when they're drinking. Okay, so it should be safe for the baby. Okay, and straw cups. Please use straw cups. Don't give feeding bottle. Okay, when you want to give something like water instead of open cup when you do not want to go ahead, you can go with straw cups. And straw cups also make sure that you give in a silicone straw cup. Okay, so you get straw cups with base as steel, but the bottle, the straw should be always silicone. Okay, because a lot of accidents are actually, happening because of the steel straw. Because our babies are usually who holds this, they'll start running, they'll start falling down. They'll start playing around with the bottle when they have it, and it actually pokes their eye, mouth, and all that. It's not good. Okay, so make sure that you use a straw cup with a very, very safe straw. Okay, like a silicone straw. Okay, this is flat mat which you can use to just avoid mess. If you're someone who is very, concerned about mess happening around the house and to protect all that, you can use a flat mat very well. Okay, and you can place your baby's chair on top of that and make your baby sit on it. Okay, and then you have this preloaded spoon. So this is actually stage one spoon and this is stage two spoon. So all this is actually available on Amazon. You just have to go and search it. And also there's a lot of, options in IPF itself, recommendations. You can check that also. Parents have given all the, options. Okay. So this spoon will actually greatly help. Okay. You just have to scoop and offer it to your baby. Your baby is going to pick it from your hand and eat. And when they actually learn to pick the spoon, so at around 9 months, you will see pincer grasp. Okay. 6 months and all, only palmer grasp. That's why offering food at the bigger size is recommended. They take it on the hand and then they chew. Okay, at around 9 months, pincer grasp will form. They'll take the spoon on the finger and they will eat on their own. So from 8 months itself, start spoons. Very well, it is something that you can, help your baby learn about it. Okay, so these are all just basic things that you want. Okay. Okay, next let's talk about do's of baby-led weaning. So always make sure that your baby is ready and always make sure that you supervise. Straw cup and open cup only as we discussed. And please offer portions of food in a very small size. Don't just dump all the food on the plate like how we see on the internet, all the influencers show, right? They'll have a lot of partitions with all the food. Not like that. Our babies get overwhelmed. It's all only for picture and video. But when you're offering food for your baby, it should always be only one item for your baby. Okay, maybe along with the fruit or something, but not something like too much where your baby will be overwhelmed and they'll look at the plate and be like, I don't know what to take and eat only. Okay, just imagine you going to a restaurant, you seeing a lot of stuff before, and you'll be thinking, oh, where should I start with? Right? The same thing happens. Okay, and breast milk formula is going to be just the same. Solids is just an addition, not a replacement. Okay, please make sure of that. Okay, and always serve last large food, which we discussed just now, so your baby can actually hold easily. Okay, please embrace the mess. You will see a lot of mess. It's all part of learning, and the mess will definitely reduce. Okay, and it also reduces picky eating habits. Okay, and if your baby is refusing a certain food, stay calm, don't pressure or don't force, or don't give another food just because the baby refused this food. Like, let's say, for example, you offered an egg today and your baby is not eating egg. Don't prepare something else and give. Your baby will think that, okay, now if I reject it, mama will give me another food. That kind of a habit will actually form. Okay. So I'll tell you mom to mom, not as an expert now, okay? Because we all feel that we definitely want a baby to eat. We all think that, right? So what I will tell you to do is that if you feel that your baby is refusing food, first thing, check the gap of feed. Whether you fed and you've not had enough gap, before offering the meal, that you check. Second is, if all this is right, the gap is all good, but my baby is refusing, it can be something to do with, a normal mood behavior. Make sure you just remove and, just call it a day and don't offer after that. Maybe after 1 or 2 hours, you can offer the same food. Don't offer different food. The egg, something that you tried, no, try to offer the same food after some time. If your baby eats, well and good. No, stop it. Don't try again. Okay, go with the next day plan. Okay. Okay, guys. So next, don't feed your baby, like don't force feed your baby. Okay, forcing will not give a positive impact. They will just, they'll not like it, especially when your baby learns to eat on their own and when they're actually trying to pick something on, from their hand. Don't try to actually remove, wipe the hand, wipe their mouth. It's all something which is going to irritate them. Okay, so please encourage them to actually use their hand. Let them get messy. It's all something about of learning only. Okay, and don't leave a baby unattended. This I'm telling again and again and on almost all the slides because safety is our first thing. It's an utmost priority that your baby should be always supervised by someone nearby. Okay, and don't put your fingers on baby mouth to remove food. Not going to help. And no distractions, no screens, no loud toys. One more thing I wanted to say here is that don't clap. Okay, so what the parent does is that, when the baby starts eating and when the baby is taking a first bite, I know in that happiness, what we do, no, we say, wow, super, and all that we say. And now baby will throw that food and they'll start clapping. They'll think that we're actually playing with them. Okay, so when you're actually, in a meal setup, just be calm. You eat, baby will see you and eat. Okay, playtime and all that after eating. Okay, and don't panic if your baby is gagging. It's all a natural reflex. Don't give any round food. Okay, grapes, popcorn, and cherry uh, tomatoes are there, no round. All that are very, very hard and something that is a great choking hazard. Okay, so these foods which I told you, like grapes, tomatoes, and all that, should be served in such a way it is safe for your baby. I wouldn't suggest giving popcorn till 5 years. It is not at all safe, guys. Okay, every day we see accidents because of popcorn. So please don't offer popcorn or anything that is not needed for your baby. Okay, and don't rush. Just let the baby eat at their own pace. Okay, rushing, keeping a time set up like 15 minutes time you have to eat. Don't give like that and all. It's just going to make it very stressful for them. Okay, just leave at their own pace. Even if your baby is 12 months, I'm telling you, it can take a lot of time for them to eat. Okay, just wait calmly. So these are some of the foods that you have to avoid before age 1. No salt, no sugar. This has been told again and again to all the parents. No salt because your baby's kidneys are immature. They cannot process excess salt. Your breast milk or formula milk itself is having salt, which is enough for your baby per day content. Okay, so adding extra salt for your baby just because they're not liking the food, adding some pinch of salt to actually make them eat is not going to help in the long run. Okay, please don't add. Till 1 year, you make it a point that there is no salt on their food. Definitely not recommended. Okay, avoid salt. Don't give chips or soups or anything ready to eat mixes with salt. Nothing sort of that is recommended. And no sugar. Okay, so sugar is something that I will tell you not to give at least till 2.5 to 3 years. Okay. So after 1 year, if you go and check in any websites or solid stuff, they'll say you can add little, but see, I'm telling you, please don't add at least till 2.5 to 3. Okay. I have a lot of friends, from the dentist background, pediatrician dentist background. Every day when we speak to each other, okay, there are a lot of, kids coming to her clinic. And when you hear the age, no, it's all shocking, guys. It's just 10 months, 11 months with tooth decay. Okay, we do not want that to happen. So please don't offer sugar, before 2.5. Okay, and if you're going to offer only, sweet food every day, like, offering dates or date syrup or anything with sweet, okay, it's going to actually create a preference for them later. Okay, like around 9, 10 months and all, they'll create a preference and they'll want only that to eat. Okay, and it will be very difficult for you to give flavors after that. Okay, no sugary biscuits, no flavored yogurts, no sweets, no bakery items, sugar cereals, nothing sort of that should be given for your baby at least until 1 year. Okay, flavored yogurts, definitely no. Don't buy yogurts from, the commercial market. No, you can make it at home and give. Okay, plain yogurt is actually better than any flavored. Okay, so no salt, no sugar, definitely. And the other things that you have to see is honey, cow's milk, we already discussed. Okay, honey, high risk of infant botulism. It's a very, very serious illness. Not many know of it. Okay, even a small amount of honey can cause serious illness to a baby. Okay, honey is definitely a big no before one. Whole nuts is a choking risk. Always offer in the form of nut powders. And when you offer nut butters, this is also very important. See, nut butters are also sticky in form, right? When you take a spoon and you eat, no, you will feel that texture, sticking on your gums and jaw, right? So what happens is that when our saliva gets in touch with the nut butter, okay, and when we're actually swallowing it, it actually forms like a ball. Okay, that itself is a high choking risk. So when you're offering nut butters for your baby, you have to smoothen it out. How to smoothen it out? You can add a little bit of water to it and mix it. Okay, and it should be in a runny texture. You have to pick the nut butter, it should fall. Okay, like a water. That is the safe texture for your baby when you're offering nut butters. Okay, you can offer it in fruits, you can offer it in anything that you want to. Okay, so but make sure it is safe for your baby. Okay, and hard, round, sticky, slippery foods, definitely no. Carrots, when you're making it, mash test. Grapes, zero, not now. You may not even give. Okay, if you want to give, you have to cut it in safe way. Okay, search grapes and solids that you will understand. Popcorn, no until 5 years. Chewing gums, jelly candies. This is not at all recommended. Even after 3 or 4 years, I wouldn't recommend chewing gums, jelly candies for your babies. Okay, and no junk foods. When you actually buy a product from any company, make sure that you read label, talk to the founder. Okay, ask them multiple questions before you buy. Okay, you are actually a consumer. You have the right to ask everything. Okay, so before offering any food for your baby, ask multiple questions, get all the answers when you're okay. Okay, because we don't want to give anything which has artificial stuff inside the baby's food. Okay, or no preservatives or anything kind of stuff. And deep fried food, please don't offer popcorn. which we already spoke, fries, okay, and pakoras, chips, fries and all. When you're going out, you think that I'm just going to offer one or two fries to my baby, and it's okay, but it's not okay, because the oil that is used in the restaurant are oils that they use even the previous night. Okay, it is not hygienic at all for a baby. At least until 1 year, please don't give anything of this sort. Okay, you can actually give fruits. You get it everywhere. Okay, instead of giving something like fries or junk food from the restaurant, you can offer safe foods. Okay, you can offer egg, boiled eggs. You can give when you're traveling. I'm telling. Okay, eggs you can give. You can offer, banana, all that kind of a food which is safe. You can actually give for your baby. Plan it that way. Okay, because till 1 year, definitely no fried items, no deep fried items. Okay, pan fry you can do at home, like when you make at home, no something for your baby, like normal cutlets or something, a pancake when you make little, ghee or something that you can add and you can give for a baby. But deep fried foods, definitely no. Okay, so this is actually a plan for 6 months. So this is just a generic plan, guys. I've written for 6 months, then for all the ages basically. So you can actually take a screenshot of it, okay, if you want to. And this video will be uploaded in the YouTube. Okay, this is just a generic plan. If you want a extensive meal plan, like if you want, extensive meal plan according to your family's needs, you can definitely DM me and I will send you for free. Okay, whoever wants extensive meal plan for a month. If you're starting 6 months solids, if you're starting and if you want a meal plan for 6 months, I can send you. Okay, and you can actually refer that and plan for your baby. Okay, same way for 8 to 9 months. If you want some other extensive meal plan, like you want to introduce varieties, you can come and DM me. I'm going to help you. Okay, what varieties you can add in snack, what you can add. I'll send you a meal plan for them. Okay, and again for 12 months, there's 1 week meal plan which I've written here. So this is all just normal meal plans. If you want extensive, as we discussed, you can definitely DM me and I'll be helping you. Okay, and that's it about today. And this is something about my packages basically. So I take classes on one-to-one consultations for weaning. So here I give personalized help, according to the needs of the parents and according to the needs of the baby. Nutrition, part also I will teach in my personal one-to-one consultation. Okay, and also I will give extensive meal plan for at least 3-4 months so that it's very easy for the parent to start with. Okay, and then I have another session which is picky eater solution. This is also one-on-one session. So this is for kids ages plus 12 months. If you see picky eating habits starting, I will tell you how to reverse it. Okay, there are a lot of strategies and tips on how to reverse picky eating. I work with around 300 plus parents for picky eating itself, and we've seen 80% positive results. Okay, and I also have plans for sleep. I take one-on-one sleep consultation, and I also offer 10 days support. So for parents who have doubts or need any personalized, plan for your baby, a sleep plan with all the sleep training methods, you can DM me and I will help you out with one-on-one sleep consultation. Okay, with an extensive support plan with all step-by-step process. Okay, and if you need 10 days support along with the sleep plan, we also offer 10 days support. And to top all of it, we also offer you 10% off. Okay, a flat 10% off for all the IPF community members. So this is something which Priya wants to offer you all. So we are offering you 10% on all the packages that I offer. Okay, so this is all the personalized support one-to-one. Even if I'm going to have any workshops in the future, okay, all the contents you can take 10% off on all this. Okay, and this is my Instagram ID. It is called Baby Sleep to Solids. If you have any questions or if you want any tips, you can always DM me there. I'm not much active on WhatsApp, but I'm very active on Instagram. Okay, you can DM me there. Or if you want to have any, want to have some inquiry or something, this is my email ID. You can drop an email and you can get in touch with me anytime. Okay, so that's a wrap, guys. Thank you. We will have a Q&A now. I hope you guys have noted all the questions that you wanted to ask me, right? So I'm going to answer all your questions now. Okay,
Yeah,
start.
Gautami. So thank you so much for this very insightful workshop. I'm sure
Thank
all
you.
of us learned a lot. Yeah, so just before that, I wanted to check in because it is already 12:05.
Yeah.
Your availability, will you be available for the next 5-10 minutes or like how does it
Yes.
look like?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, since I spoke with Priya, I have a consultation with my doctor. We can do for 10 minutes, Priya. I can answer. And
Sure.
after that, also, if any parent asks any questions, I think there's a group, right? They can actually send their questions there also. I can respond.
Works. So we have a
Works,
solids
right?
group, in
Yeah,
IPF WhatsApp group. So if you're part of the workshop group, I'll share the solids group also over there, and you can join.
sure,
Got me the questions
sure.
directly. Meanwhile, I'll just quickly go through a few questions, right? So the
Yeah.
first one was shared by Bharshini, which is, when to start egg and how to start. Like, any thoughts around this? And in case you've already answered this in your presentation, you can let me know and I'll just skip it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when to start egg? See, you can actually start egg right from 6 months. Okay, it is actually safe. Okay, there are a lot of confusions around, this MMR vaccine where doctor says not to start egg because that causes some problem, when you take MMR vaccine. That is not actually proven. Okay, so you can start eggs right from the beginning. But what I would suggest for you to start is to wait till the first 1 month, wherein you're going to give a lot of varieties, right? Before starting an allergen, as we discussed. Okay, so the first 1 month, keep it something that you have to actually introduce a lot of varieties on fruits, vegetables, grains, whatever you eat as a family. Okay, and then from 7 months, you can start eggs. Eggs you can start as omelette, you can give, or you can also give it as a boiled egg. You can give it as a full format, not specifically that you have to offer yolk first separately and then egg white. No, nothing sort of that. Even that is not proven. You can offer it as a whole. Okay, I hope this answers.
Got it. Yeah. Next is the 7-month-old baby eats only 4 to 6 spoons in a spoon and not in a teaspoon or a tablespoon. Like, does that work? Any issues around that?
No, see, 7 months baby is still learning to eat, is still exploring. Okay, and here, with respect to what Priya has told me, I think you are actually doing a traditional weaning, right? So I would actually suggest you to do a mixed weaning from now. So that you will actually help your baby to explore. So keep a plate on front of your baby. Same food that you're feeding basically itself, you can actually place it on the plate for your baby. Okay, if it's a mashed consistency, also works for the beginning. Okay, you're going to keep it the same way. Let your baby grab the food and eat, and quantity your baby only will decide, you will not decide. Okay, each baby is different and each of their preferences is different and each of their appetite is different, so you will not worry on the quantity that you actually offer. You will only focus on the nutrition that you're offering. Okay, so make sure that you're offering in a way that the nutrition part is covered, the texture is good, it is safe, and you are encouraging your baby to actually explore it. Okay, stop feeding all the time, because at 7 months you would have already started an additional snack. Okay, if you're doing a mixed feeding and if you're still not sure of BLW and you're still kind of you're having some confusion, what you can do is that one meal you can do traditional feeding. The next part, which is a snack, please offer it as a BLW. Let your baby learn and explore. Only when you let your baby learn and explore, your baby will understand how much quantity your baby wants to eat. Okay.
Got it. Harshini, I'll just skip a few of your questions because we have to cover a few of other questions also. So you can just ask Gautami in a solids group also about the remaining questions.
Yeah.
Next is a question from Shweta, which is approximately when will baby start eating around half katori food or so? Her 6.5-month baby does not eat more than 1 spoon, that too in some days.
Okay, so as we already discussed, first you have to check why your baby is not eating. Okay, you have to check whether the gap between the feed and the solid is actually enough for your baby. If not, you have to extend it. Second is texture. If you're offering only ragi or if you're offering only, satmav every day, your baby will not like it. Okay, so if you're not going to offer a lot of textures and varieties, you will see your baby rejecting food from the earliest stage itself. That is why we always tell this and stress parents to give a lot of varieties. And as you mentioned, about the size of the cup, it's always going to be what your baby needs. Okay, you cannot force feed. So please don't worry about all this. Whoever asked this question, I forgot the name. So don't worry about all this. Just focus on giving good nutrition food. Okay, and do a BLW along with the traditional feeding if you're offering in spoon. Okay,
Got
you will definitely see changes, guys. If you're not going to be, helping a baby eat by their own or eat independently, you will have this question even after 1 year. Okay, you will have the same question after 1 year because you're not actually helping your baby eat on their own. So please offer food, let them explore, let them get messy. You will definitely see changes. You will see baby eating same quantity of your food in 2 years itself. I am giving you that assurance. Okay, so
it.
offer and encourage.
Got it. Next question is how to help them or how to make them drink water at 6 months. Like, any thoughts around that?
Okay, so 6 months, if you see, okay, so it's very good question basically. So you have to start water at around 6 months itself. Okay, see, although water is going to be just optional till 12 months, offering water is good when you start solids. Okay, so how you can offer is that you can offer an open cup, which I showed you on the picture. Okay, or a normal tumbler that you have at home, you can offer. Or for the starting point, what you can do, you can take the straw cup. Okay, there are a lot of baby friendly straw cups available on the market. I showed you a picture of a love lap. Okay, so that is very safe and something where you can actually practice for your baby. Okay, and there's also another straw cup which I didn't show on the picture. Okay, it's actually in purple and green love lap. I think you guys would have seen. Okay, so the top bottom, no, it will have a ridge where you can just press it. Okay, and the water easily comes on top. Okay, it's actually called weighted straw cups, right? So when you're just going to press the rim of the cup, okay, the water will easily come in, and then you can offer. Okay, and offer sips of water like throughout the day, not only for a meal plan. Like you're offering one meal only that time, don't offer. Make sure that you're encouraging drinking, encouraging your baby to drink throughout the day. Little sips of water you can give. And how much water you can give is that at least start 30 to 40 ml. Okay, you cannot achieve 180 ml that are the recommendations that they say, but at least 30 to 40 ml is something that is recommended for you to give throughout the day. Okay.
Got it. Next question is, her babies are 8 months old and they are premature. So what can be given and how for baby-led weaning without the fear of choking? Currently, they are able to sit with back support and can hold head properly.
Okay. See, don't worry about choking. Okay, you just have to learn the difference between the signs of gagging and choking. If you're actually afraid of choking, you have to educate yourself, like how we, saw about the textures, the varieties, safe food basically. You have to do a squish test, do a temperature check. When you're offering it in the right way, BLW is easy. So please make sure that you use this app for reference. Whatever food that you want to, please make sure you use this app, the Solid Start website as a reference. Search for whatever food that you want to offer. Same way, just plan around and offer for your baby. Don't panic. Don't be in, stressed mode. Just be happy when you're doing it. Okay. Just learn CPR as a part of training when you start solids. Okay. It's going to be helpful. It's not that it's going to happen to a baby. It's just that we have to learn all this. Okay. And see, babies who are premature or normal, whatever it is, one thing that you have to understand, guys, is the signs of readiness. Okay. The three signs which I explained to you is something that you have to definitely see. And when you're feeding, your baby should always be on a sitting posture, like how I'm sitting. Okay, your baby should not be on the lap or should not be on an inclined position when you're feeding. That is definitely not recommended. Okay.
Next question is, when can we introduce ghee?
Ghee you can start from 6 months itself. Okay, so introduce like when you're introducing, see 6 months when I tell you the first 15 days you're going to give a single ingredient food, right? So after 15 days, let's say you're offering dal. Okay, you can actually melt some ghee, add it to the dal rice, and you can offer for your baby. And ghee is also actually, a dairy, right? So that can be offered during the daytime to check if your baby is allergic to it. If your baby is all good, not showing any signs of allergy, you can continue using ghee. Ghee every day you can actually use. There's no issue at all. Okay.
Got it. Next is, this parent tried to do baby-led weaning. Whatever she left in plate, I end up feeding her. So is it the right approach? Also, a lot of food goes to ground in baby-led weaning. Will it improve over time?
Yes, it will definitely improve. Babies are not throwing to actually play, they're learning gravity. Okay. But when they're throwing and when you're going to pick the same food and give them, they'll think that as a play. So you don't pick it up. Okay. When your baby is throwing, don't pick it up. Don't actually shout at your baby or don't show any faces. Don't actually react. Just stay calm. Let them do whatever they want to. Let them throw. You just be like that. Over time, you will see that will actually reduce. Okay, and your baby eating, not eating is a problem, right? Same thing I wanted to actually understand. I wanted to understand if you're actually offering good varieties. Okay, there is a reason if your baby is not eating. Maybe the texture, the variety that you're giving, or every day the same food has been, given. Something like that has to be checked. Okay, so that we have to actually basically check before actually giving any advice. So if you have anything that you want me to help, you can definitely DM me and we can work around that.
Next question is, how much quantity to offer for the first time?
Uh, See, basically, if your baby is taking 2, 3 spoons for the first time, that itself is great. Okay. And you expecting your baby to finish some quantity is not great. Okay. So basically, your baby is actually going to, know their appetite. They are going to actually fix how much they want to eat. That is actually BLW, guys. Okay. But if you want to set up appropriate quantity that you want, my baby has to eat 2 to 3 spoons for the beginning.
Got it. Next question is, what is the quantity of allergen which should be introduced, especially
One
for
third.
one
One
third?
third of the food. Yeah, one third of the spoon, which I told, if you're
Hmm.
introducing, nut powder, let's say almond powder, you remove the skin, you soak it, remove the skin, roast it, make it powder, one third of the spoon. Just a small bit on the food and give it in the morning part.
Next question is food to be offered before or after breastfeeding. I think you have answered that, right?
Yes, yes. So after breastfeeding only, always breastfeeding comes first, okay, and then the gap. So if you see the slides which will be shared to you guys, you will have the progression, okay, how much gap you have to give age per wise, you can refer that.
Got it. Next is for an EBF baby, how to give expressed milk after 6 months, like bottle or open cup or
I
katuri.
would, yes, I would definitely not recommend bottle because bottle weaning is something as a very strong association they take it. Okay, it's very, very difficult to wean at later stages. I would want you to actually start with straw cup. Okay, if you're someone who's actually giving, express milk in a bottle, start with straw cup. Keep one bottle for milk and one bottle for water and offer. Okay, straw cup is something that you can start with. Why I'm saying straw cup is that I know as breast milk, when the baby just spits in open cup and they drink, it's like, a heart attack, right? So you can actually start with straw cup. Okay, that is good. But please stop feeding bottle at the earliest. At least around 10 months, you should stop the feeding bottle if you're offering express milk, not after that.
Got it. Yeah. Next question is what to do in case of choking. Any
Yes, you have to learn CPR. Okay, so if you see the CPR, there'll be chest thrust and back blows. Okay, so that is the video that I wanted to show you guys. I want you to actually learn and understand. So once your baby actually chokes, when you see that potential, risk happening to your baby, first thing, don't panic. Immediately remove your baby off the chair. Okay, and try to give back blows. Let's say this is your baby. Okay, your baby's head should be here. Okay, they should be like this inclined position and should start back blows, 5 back blows. Okay, and then thrust here, kick you have to do 4, 5 thrust here. So that is why I wanted to share this video. Priya, can you share those links across?
Sure,
I'll
sure.
send you those links.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
because that is something very important for the parents to learn. Okay, there is differences in choking, gagging, videos on that, and CPR. All that you have to learn. You have to see that every time, before you actually become very confident before you give solid to your baby.
For sure,
Okay.
for sure. We'll share across. Yeah. Next question is how to manage BLW as working women as to keep an eye on choking and gagging.
See, when you're going to offer food, no matter whatever food that is, whether it's a traditional food or a BLW weaning, you're going to be there next to your baby to supervise. I've been telling this point in almost all the slides, okay, because we're not going to leave a baby alone when they're going to try some food out. If you're a working parent, there should be another caretaker to check on baby when the baby is eating. Okay, just make sure that you teach them all the things which I told you, from CPR, the food texture, how the food has to be served, the squish test, temperature, all this. When you learn across and when you just master it, it's easy. You need not worry. But make sure there is someone who's always there to attend the baby. Okay.
Got it. Is there any specific time of the day when solid should be given, specifically for a working mom who would like to be present during the solid meal? Is it okay to give a late lunch around 2 p.m.?
See, everything depends upon your baby sleep schedule, which we already discussed. Okay, so sleep schedule. So when your baby wakes up, okay, that is going to actually be the wake time, and then the wake window is going to come, nap time is going to come. So everything depends on how your baby sleeps when your baby wakes up. So only it's not going to be constant every day, right? So one day we wake up at 10 o'clock, one day we wake up at 8 o'clock. So however your baby is waking up, from then you have to start planning the solids accordingly as well as how you plan naps. So there's not going to be any fixed timing until your baby actually comes into a proper schedule, which I told you at around 10 months. Okay, so till then you have to plan around, according to your baby schedule only. There's not going to be any fixed time. And you
Got
cannot plan just because you have calls. Okay, and like definitely, as I told you, there should be feeds between, breast milk or bottle milk. Okay, this feeds gap is very important. So you cannot focus on timing at this point of time.
Got it. And baby-led weaning can start from which month?
Baby-led weaning, you can start from 6 months itself. You're very confident. If you've learned everything which I told you, you can start from 6 months itself. If you feel that no, this is not something which I am, comfortable with at the beginning, you can do a mixed feeding. Like you can start baby-led weaning, and along with that, you can do a responsive feeding that you are actually, giving in spoon. Okay, like together you can do, and from 7 months onwards, you can start reducing the responsive feeding. That is the spoon speed feeding, and encourage BLW, from then and there itself fully.
Got it. Let's take two more questions, Gautami. Although we
Sure.
have, I think, around 30, 40 more questions. Let's take just two more because
Sure,
we
sure.
need to step out. Yeah. So if baby rejects any specific food, can we offer it in the next meal or should we wait for some period? If yes, then how much time should we wait?
If the baby is rejecting food, this we already discussed actually, you have to focus on the reason first. Okay, the timing, the variety, and all that. If all is something that you say, no, I've kept proper timing, I've actually given a lot of varieties, but still my baby is rejecting, It can be a one-off thing. Okay. And what actually, experts recommend is that we do not offer again the same food. We just call it off and we'll just, focus on the next day schedule. But if you feel, as I told, mom to mom talk, when you have that guilt, maybe after 1 hour you can try the same food. Okay, not another meal, but something like the same food you can offer. In fact, what you can do is that if you feel that you're offering 3 meals, and let's say the first meal your baby has rejected, okay, you can, let's say for example that is egg. We'll take it as an example. The same egg you can actually offer it in the second meal, a little part. Okay, so you'll have a rejected food and the major part. So this way, you're also encouraging your baby to explore that. Like that, you can plan.
Got it. I guess we can take this as the last question. Baby-led weaning options are sometimes not very firm. It gets squished in her hands. How to deal with that?
It will happen. There is going to be a lot of mess. You will see your baby, taking it on the hand and rubbing it on the face, hair. Only thing that you have to do is that make sure it doesn't go inside the eyes and ears. When it is going, wipe it off. But the rest of the thing, you have to wait till the end. Mess is a part of learning. You have to actually enjoy it. Okay, you shouldn't be worried about mess at this point of time. It will definitely get better. And any food that is sticky, which I explained, right? Those foods, baby needs help. Okay, let's say mango and all, the baby cannot actually handle it on their own. Okay, if your baby is spoon trained, your baby can handle. But if you're not trained with spoon or preloaded spoons, you have to actually help your baby, eat for that. So there are certain foods which you have to help your baby, and that you cannot strictly follow BLW. Okay, for that and all, you can just help your baby as how you actually usually help. Okay, but the rest of the food, make sure that you offer it, in a BLW style and let your baby learn it. And mess is something that you have to, just enjoy, as I always say. It will definitely get better. Don't worry. So Priya's there.
Hello.
Yeah, Priya. I think.
Is this audio
Yeah.
coming from my end?
No, it's fine now. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we have so many questions right now, got me. I think the best way to answer those will be on our solids groups, right? I'll just
Sure.
share all of those links across in the workshop group. And
Yes.
parents, really sorry we have not been able to answer your questions. We'll strongly recommend you to ask those questions in the WhatsApp group, or you can DM got me also on Instagram, right? And ask those.
Yes. Yes, definitely. You guys can contact me. And if you need any extensive support also, I will share across all the details to Priya. Priya will forward that to you. And these links, basically, it is very important. I will share across that. Priya will send in the
Yeah.
group. I
Yeah.
want you to watch it right after the session. It's very important.
Sure, we'll do that. We'll do that. Cool. Thank you so much,
Thank
Gaurav,
you.
for taking out time and helping the entire community. I'm sure all of us learned a lot, and we'll definitely, we hope to take more workshops. I guess so many
Definitely.
questions are there, and so we can go into so much detail, in this specific domain. So let's see
Yes.
if we can figure out a few more workshops. But yeah, thank you so much.
Definitely. Definitely, Priya. Definitely. We'll work again soon, very soon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining on Saturday. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.